What's up, everybody? It's Old Man Winter 8 for Sun and Ski Sports, and we're going to check out the Nidecker Cascade boot from the ground up. All right, so the Cascade is a pretty cool looking boot. Like right off the bat, it looks a lot more expensive than it actually is. It does have a few more features than a lot of those basic boots, but the price definitely doesn't reflect it. And we start on the bottom with their Gravity Plus outsole. So this is their same Gravity outsole that's that full EVA foam, so you're still getting lightness, you're getting durability, you're getting the extra cushioning, but they've added a little pot of rubber up on the toe, so when you're hiking around, you get a little bit more durability, and more importantly, you get a little bit more grip. And then right on top of that, but underneath your foot, you have their 3D single density footbed. So a little bit of a cradling effect underneath your heel just to help keep your foot centered in the boot, give it a little bit more performance, reduce that foot fatigue. And then it does have these red lines on here, which is actually silicone that's designed to help keep your foot in place and to keep it from wanting to slide around just in case you don't have the boots laced up tight enough. And then moving up to the toe of the boot, we have this 3D molded toe box, and it's a little bit more of a one-piece construction. So by getting rid of layers, we're doing a couple things. We're lightening up the boot a little bit, but also it allows them to put this material on the toe that's a little bit smoother feeling, and this basically gives you a little bit more durability, but it also makes it a little easier no matter what kind of bindings you're riding to get your foot in and out. Moving up the shell, we have their articulated flex zone, basically reducing the shell distortion, so when you are flexing forward, the top of the boot is not making the bottom of the boot gap out and kind of push out on the sides. And if you look at it from the front, you can see that it does have a little bit of an asymmetrical fit from the inside of the boot to the outside of the boot, and that's because your legs are not symmetrical, so there's no reason that your boot has to be. This is again giving you a little bit more comfort, not only giving you the support you need, but also with their 3D molded tongue, it goes a little bit more towards the medial side. It helps reduce the chance of there being a pinching spot on the inside of your foot when you're standing with your legs kind of kinked in a little bit all day long. And with all those features from the outside of the boot making the boot more comfortable, obviously we got to go inside the boot and check out the liner. So this does have their bronze level liner right off the bat at the toe. We've got that custom flex zone where it's a little bit softer, easier material. It's a little thinner in the toe area. So when you get these things right out of the box, you get a little bit more comfort up in the toes, because when your boot fits properly, your toes are touching, maybe pushing a tiny bit, just to give you that extra comfort while your boot breaks in. And obviously we have an integrated lacing system right on the outside that's giving you a little extra support and giving you a little bit better fit from the inside of the boot. And then down by your heels, we have their internal J-bars molded in. And that basically goes around the kind of bones on the inside and outside of your ankle. It just gives you a little bit tighter fit to make sure that your heel stays down in the boot all day. And then with all of those features adding to the comfort of the liner, it is fully heat moldable, so you can take this into your local shop and they can heat it up, and when you put your foot in there and it cools down, it custom molds around your specific foot for the ultimate comfort. Then obviously on the front of this thing, we have their single boa, so you get one crank to tighten up the laces all the way down the boot, and this is their H4 coiler, so it does have that break-free piece, so if you happen to knock this thing on, let's say your foot slips off a stair or something, and you happen to hit it, it's designed to pop loose, so you can basically just take it and snap it back in. So this way there's no chance of you breaking the boa and having to miss out on a day of riding. And then being the coiler, that just means that when you pop this thing loose and you push the laces out, it helps suck the laces back in automatically, so you have to do a little less cranking when you go to crank the boot down. And then fit-wise, I'm a size 10.5 in just about any skate shoe or any athletic shoe out there, but I tried this thing on in a 10 and it actually fit perfectly. My toes were touching, just pushing a tiny bit up in the front, but I had that nice snug feel right out of the box, and I knew that after a few days and a few days of riding, it's gonna break in perfectly. So I would definitely suggest checking this thing out a half size smaller than what you would wear in your everyday shoes. But overall, this thing is a very, very lightweight, softer flexing boot, but it does have those extra features like the Gravity Plus insole, that piece on the toe, the boa coiler, those little things to help give it a tiny bit more performance for those higher end beginner to intermediate riders who are looking for a little bit more performance than just your standard basic price point boot. But if you got any questions beyond anything that we talked about in this video, definitely leave some comments down below. Also make sure to like and subscribe to the Sun and Ski YouTube channel, and make sure to head on into any of the Sun and Ski locations to check out the boots, or just hit them up at sunandski.com.